Well, hello, everybody. Happy hump day, middle of the week. Here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, you are live with the Albuquerque Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Today is Wednesday, the last Wednesday of the month, October 28th. Typically, on a regular last Wednesday of the month, we would be getting ready to celebrate our Biz Gratis. And so, boy, oh boy, do we miss the days of networking and getting together. And I know Sonia is shaking her head yes, because she is probably the biggest and best networker we know. And so we are looking forward to the day that we can all be together again, Sonia, for sure. We know how important that networking time is to your business. And speaking of networking, today we have an exciting panel, which we're going to introduce here shortly. We are getting ready for our 2020 Hispanic Heritage Awards, which we typically would hold in mid-October, but we kind of held out just hoping that there was a possibility we could do a hybrid, maybe do a few people in the courtyard here at the chamber. And then, of course, last week, new guidelines in place. So that's just not going to happen. So we've decided to go virtual. And so we've moved our date to November 12th. And as part of that celebration, we are honoring last year's winners in their categories. And so we're going to get to the panel in just a minute. But I want to thank this month's sponsor of our webinar series, our partners, our friends at the United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Ramiro and team out of Washington, D.C. We thank you so much for all the support you give small businesses across the country. It's been an honor to work with you over the past couple years. We appreciate the partnership and the friendship with the team up at the USHCC. And though everybody's working remotely, they are in constant contact. And again, we appreciate their support here in our community. I also want to say thank you to New Mexico Tech, who has been our IT partner since the beginning of since March with COVID, and they have really brought us to where we are today with our technology. So a huge thank you to them as well. So with that being said, I'm really excited. We're running around like crazy around here, getting ready for Hispanic Heritage Awards, meeting with the new winners, which we get to announce on November 12th. Working with our sponsors. We have some surprises during the show itself. And then, of course, last year's winners. And so we're really excited. You know, every year for the past 4 years, what we've done is we've taken the previous year's winners, and they become our marketing for this year. So now in 2021, we're going to get ready to set out all our new marketing, and our 10 winners from last year are going to grace the covers of all of our flyers and our postcards and our website and the different social media things we do, to talk about, kind of be ambassadors for the chamber, if you will, for their experience over their membership time and over the last year as well. So I'm excited to introduce the panel today so we can kind of find out what everybody's been up to, what have they been doing, and let's talk about a little bit about COVID, what has changed in your business, and what can we look forward to in 2021. So I'm just going to kind of start the way that you guys are on my screen. So if you could introduce yourself, who you're with, and what company you represent and what you do for the company. So I'm going to start with my friend Wizard. You are on my right, sir. Take it.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for having us. As Shannon said, I'm Wizard, also known as Ernest Cuadron with the Guardians of the Children Rio Grande chapter. This has been an interesting year for me personally and for our organization as a whole. First of all, I had to retire this year from the organization. I had some personal things I had to deal with and so on. But I'm so pleased to announce that we have a new president, and that is Don Moose Moore, who you'll see on our screen here. He's waving. And it's been a difficult year for the chapter. With COVID coming in, the mission of the Guardians of the Children is to work with children who've been abused. Our objective is to help them through the court system in particular, give them strength and support and a sense of stability during a very difficult time. And with COVID coming in this year, the effort that we've typically put forth has really been thwarted by COVID, because basically we can't go to court. We can't have large functions to support these children. As you might recall, last year and every year for the last 7 years now, we've had a family fun day. And it's a huge event The objective being to support the families in our community, in particular the community that is underserved. And so we typically do it in Los Lunas. We have the park down there. We have free food and games and entertainment and on and on and on. And we typically serve anywhere from 2,500 to 3,000 people. That event had to be canceled. Our court processes where we're there with the children, the most important thing that we do, providing them with the strength that they need to tell their story of how they've been abused to the court system, so that these perpetrators can be punished for the abuse they've done. All of that has had to pretty much been set aside. So it's been difficult.
We definitely want to kind of dive into that a little bit, because I can only imagine, very particular with your mission, how it's affected you and with the closures. So hang on to that for just a minute, Wizard. We're going to come back. Let's introduce Don Moore, also known as Moose. Tell us a little bit about who you are and how long you've been with the Guardians.
Hello, thank you. Again, my name is Don Moore. I'm also known as Moose. I am now the president of the Guardians of the Children here in Albuquerque, which is called the Rio Grande chapter. Wizard, as he said, did have to step down and retire and enjoy some family time. We had Teacher in place as our president, and now it's my turn. I've been with the Guardians now for over 5 years. I consider it home. I love everything about it and can't wait to get back out there after COVID and continue serving the community the way that we do.
Well, we cannot wait for you to be able to do that, and so we're excited to hear more about that. Next, I'm going to move to Matt, who is with Turquoise Skies. Matt, tell us all about you.
Yeah, hi everyone. Hey, this is Matthew James at Turquoise Skies. I'm representing T-Skies Jewelry. Unfortunately, Janice isn't able to be here. We had some problems with travel this morning, and from the Pueblos, driving on the freeway, we wanted to be safe with all that black ice on the road. So we've had a doozy of a year. It's been difficult. As I don't know if anyone knows much about our jewelry store, but we're also a Native American artists co-op, and our main manufacturing force are all natives from the Pueblos, the local Pueblos. And when COVID hit, we had to close down our physical gallery, and then also our online store actually did great. But the problem was our manufacturing went down because all of our artists, all of our manufacturers were on lockdown at the Pueblo. And so we had a lot of very long nights with a very, skeleton crew making jewelry. Thankfully, we pulled through. We took advantage of some of the interest rates and purchased a building, actually. So we've got a new location opening up soon. We hope to work with Spano on doing a ribbon cutting whenever that's possible. Probably next spring when hopefully everything clears. And our online presence is just growing. We just shared you on our Facebook page. We should see some numbers pop up. We usually get about 100 to 200 people watching at a time. We reach about 2.5 million people a month.
Yeah,
so
well, thank you for sharing, because we hope that you guys are all sharing this webinar and everything that we do. We're excited to be promoting you guys this year. So hang on to that thought, Matthew. We're going to come right back. I want to bring Sonia into this conversation. Sonia, and I saw Stephen walk in and out. So introduce who you are and who you're with and what you do. Sonia, you're on mute, my friend, and you know Zoom etiquette better than anybody.
It's my virtual networking. I'm doing a lot of it now these days. Of course, I am Sonia Armijo. I'm with the PC Place, Albuquerque's one-stop computer shop. We do everything and anything with computers, buy, sell, and repair. As you all know, or for those that do not know, I am also co-chair of the Hispano Chamber Ambassador Committee. In my experience, this year has been a challenge. We are still here, thankfully. The first month was pretty scary, but we still had to let our employees work for the reason that they have bills too. This gave us a little bit of time to brainstorm and decided to make changes to our business and upgraded the tech department, and that gave them they were able to show up to work every day for that. And while pushing forward and adjusting to the changes, I've been attending as many virtual events as possible and staying in touch with the right people and also staying active with the chamber.
So, Sonia, thank you so much for your dedication. You have been a real driver during this time to say, hey guys, even if it's virtual, we need to stay in touch. We need to make sure that we are communicating with the fellow ambassadors and with the new businesses that are coming onto the chamber. Because yes, this year's been so awkward and so weird. And how do you invite people to events that don't exist? And so I just want to say thank you to you and the whole ambassador committee who has been extremely active doing your regular monthly meetings, still holding fundraisers, celebrating a few odds and ends ribbon cuttings that have had a hybrid kind of event of some sort, but we really appreciate all that you do in the community. So what I want you guys, I want to get to know you guys just a little bit better, and I want the public to know who you are and what you do. And we do that by getting to know you and how you represent your business. So Sonia, I'm going to just start with you since we were finishing up. How long, first and foremost, how long have you guys been in business? And how long have you been members of the chamber? I bring this up because these are some big numbers. And I also want to talk to you a little bit about who are some of your biggest clients? Now, last year you won our Technology Company of the Year award.
Yes.
And that was huge, Sonia, because you guys won by a huge landslide. And I think it has to do because you have a pretty great customer base. So let's talk about those few things.
Well, I'd like to thank, first of all, the Navajo Nation. They are our biggest federal contract right now, along with the Jicarilla Apache Nation, as well as New Mexico Tech. Thank you for using us as your computer needs. Now during this pandemic, they came and they got all the computers they needed to, be able to still work from home or whatever it is that they may be doing. I'd also like to thank a lot of the other businesses here in Albuquerque that I can't even begin to mention. There's so many, and they have come to us for their computer needs. So right now with this whole pandemic going on, we had to put some discounts into perspective. We started giving teachers and students discounts as well as the first responders, along with our veteran discount. We are all here for their computer needs, and that's who's kept us going. We were essential. Everybody working and doing school from home.
How long have you guys been open in Albuquerque?
I'm sorry, yes, we have been in business for, 29 years now.
I was gonna say, I know the answer, so if you don't know the answer.
And 18 of those years have been with the Chamber of Commerce.
Exactly.
Yes, they have been with the Chamber of Commerce. And if it wasn't for the Chamber of Commerce, I don't think we would be where we're at today. All this networking and attending all these events through the Chamber have made a big difference in our sales and our relationships with customers. And we have built many more relationships because of the Chamber.
Well, we appreciate your guys' partnership and support, obviously throughout the years, but a small little award, a token of our appreciation that you were voted on. So
thank you.
That lets people know in the community that you're community based, you're local, but you guys do a lot of big things. So thank you for bringing that up. So I want to move over to Matthew. Let's talk a little bit about, now you had a location over off of Osuna, and let's talk a little bit about what the co-op concept means to you and where you now moved. You were talking about your new online presence. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So we've been online for a while, but it's, our co-op, the idea was to create a safe place for Native American artisans who manufacture jewelry to have a place to work, shared tools that you don't always have access to if you're by yourself, if you're working in your garage. And we actually have all the machines and equipment that probably Tiffany and Company has. So now you have access to these high-end jewelers' tools, and everyone shares them, and that's where the cooperative part of it comes from. And then our gallery space, artists that are in the co-op are able to put their own jewelry out on the floor, so on the sales floor. So when you come into the gallery, you can see the pieces of the artists that are there that day. And artists aren't sitting on the ground, outside the plaza or something. It's their own high-end gallery to sell their pieces. It's great for tourism. It's great for the local communities to come in and actually meet the artists who are supplying a lot of our jewelry stores with the beautiful jewelry that they make. And that was the concept. We're also working with CNM to send students through their jewelers program at Fuse Makerspace. And so the idea is to go out, which we haven't been able to do much this year, but to go out to high schools and encourage young artists who are interested in getting into the trade to give them a scholarship and give them a ride through CNM, so they can basically have a free ride through their jewelers program. And then when they're done, they can come hang out with us and make jewelry and start their businesses. So yeah, that's what we're about.
So what I love, first of all, for everybody that's out there going, what is the co-op? I don't understand. But just to explain, there's places around the city that are called cooperatives. And what they do is they provide a space to do a certain type of work. So, there's cooperatives where they have a kitchen. You can schedule time, come in, do your cooking if you're a food truck, or you don't have the industrial type kitchen you need for your little, maybe you do baked goods or you do jerkies or whatever you do. So that's kind of the same concept as Matthew was talking about, where they have the equipment available to the artisan to come in and use, because artisans don't always have access or financial opportunity to purchase that high-end equipment that they need to really do detailed work within their pieces. And then on top of that, you guys have had and will have a showroom where artisans can place their goods for sale for people to walk in, which has been really great. Like you said about with tourism now, we canceled Balloon Fiesta this year, and hospitality and tourism, our third largest industry here in the state, is really suffering right now, but we will bounce back because we are a large tourism state, and having that space for artisans to view the work is amazing. So kudos to Matt and team for pulling this together. I know we've talked about it years before it happened, and so we're excited that the Hispano's been able to be part of that. Now, would you do us a favor and talk a little bit about your trustee Janice, who has been with you and does a lot. Let's talk about who she is and what she does.
Right, Janice Cenario is a third generation HHA maker from Santo Domingo, Pueblo. She is our basically artist relations and president of the co-op nonprofit branch of the company. And she's actually half Navajo. She lives on Cochiti Pueblo. She's very networked in the Native American artist space. And she basically goes around and promotes and works with famous artists, well-known artists, SWAIA artists, artists that have made it, and brings them in. And the idea is to have these mentors that have made it in the industry be able to share their trade with the younger generation and then teach and pass on that tradition and keep that culture alive. We believe that culture is very much connected to art. And if we can keep the art alive, then it's really beneficial for the culture, and they can keep control of their of their culture and who they are. Rather than one of the problems in the industry, which is what we fight against, is the imports that have been coming in that have been misrepresenting the Native American cultures in our area. And we want to educate people and promote authenticity. And so Janice, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Janice is a key part in being amongst the people and communicating with artists on that end to bring them to our live shows on Facebook, to the gallery, and lets the public see these people as transparently as possible.
So what's really exciting about that is, first and foremost, we're so passionate in New Mexico. We do here at the Albuquerque Hispano Chamber, we have our department, our convention and tourism department. And, part of that is our culture. When conventions come into town, we provide them, whether it's, folklorico or Native American dancers or flamenco or, and then there's the music that goes along with that and the food. And so everybody's very passionate in our city, in our state about our culture. And we get that a lot. We're like, oh, you guys are the most cultural town we've ever been in. And so to be able to hang on to those traditions, regardless of your background, is super important. So with the help of Turquoise Skies and Janice, the people that are actually saying, hey, I grew up with this and I want to make sure that the younger generation carries it on, is part of our mission here. It's super important, and we're so excited to support that. And speaking of amazing missions, I want to jump back to the Guardians. Now, you know, over the last few years, I've been absolutely blessed to be able to work with you guys in so many different projects, and we really understand and feel how much this year has impacted your mission. And so I'd like to talk to you guys a little bit about, and whoever wants to go, but I want to talk to you guys a little bit about how you have been able to interact with the children. What has been happening? How have you had to adjust, and how do you move forward, being that we're still in these guidelines and the need, you know, what I think maybe sometimes, you know, we're trying to find a positive light. We're trying to say, oh, it's this or that, but the reality of COVID has been that being at home has brought large increase in numbers to child abuse, domestic violence, drugs and alcohol, you know, suicides. Those are real numbers that we can't avoid, and like the elephant in the room, you know, but we have to talk about it. And your mission is so specific to child abuse. And so I want to talk to you guys a little bit about how you're dealing with that right now.
Luke, I'm going to let you talk about that.
Okay, thank you. You know, a lot of the same way that a lot of people are, you know, from a distance, we're doing a lot of ride-bys for the families that we protect, as well as others, et cetera. You know, we just ride by and wave. We do a lot of phone calls, Zoom meetings, you know, things like that. Court is not happening near as much as it used to. And if it does, it's some type of virtual, via a conference call, online or on phone. And we still do our best to attend those. A lot of times the families will host that from their house, and some of us will show up and just be there to support them through that, even though it's that way. Like you said, child abuse doesn't stop because of COVID. The rest of us are, but it's not. And sadly, those children that look at school and things as that safe place, they're not getting that opportunity right now. You know, it's going to be very busy when all this is over, and that's the sad reality. So we're just gearing up, getting ready, getting all of our people ready, training, doing what we can during this time to make it work and be ready for what comes out the other end.
Now, are you guys still out? I know since I've known you, I've only known one person that has, I'm sure there's more than one, but that has become a member of the Guardians writing team. So tell us a little bit about how somebody wanted to get involved. What does it take to even just be part of the group, much less get those badges that allow you to be able to interact with the children in the way that you do, and support, be able to be in court with them and all of that stuff. So how does that work?
Well, first of all, to be a patched member with our group, you do have to ride a motorcycle or be the rider, such as a spouse or something like that. We do have some other positions in the organization, such as support member, where you don't have to ride, but you will not or cannot become a patched member. Anybody interested can look us up through Google and go to our website, or go to Facebook, or contact any member via Facebook or message and request to join. Our meetings are most often public. However, due to COVID, that has changed quite a bit as well. So we're doing a lot of private meetings and not allowing the public to attend at the moment, just to keep doing by the mandates as best we can. But we do welcome anybody that rides. There is significant background checks and things that people have to go through. It's not like we just bring you on and throw you in with a child. There's a lot of training that goes into it. It's usually a year or more before you have a child that you're responsible for or help with, because it does take that training, that education, that dedication, and doing the right things and knowing what to look for and what to do.
Well, you know, we're going to be putting all of your websites and your information on this link, and we'll continue to share that over the next year, because it's going to be really important. I feel like if anybody is going to be busy when 2021 or I should say post-COVID happens, it's going to be vitally important that they know how to get a hold of the guardians and that you guys can continue your very important mission here in the community. So I'd like to move back over to Sonia. So here's a question for you, Sonia, because, people think computer place, one-stop shop. Okay, what does that mean? I need to buy a computer. I mean, we purchased a computer from you guys not too long ago. I mean, I get that part, but let's talk about some of the services that you do outside of actual computers, and how, if I'm a business, how do I get to you to call you to work with you and say, hey, I would like you to service me on a regular basis. So let's talk a little bit about how that works.
Okay, well, first of all, you can get our information from the chamber website. We have an ambassador group on Facebook that has all of the ambassadors' information. I am on there as well. We do have our website, pc-place.com. We do have our personal emails under there in case you have a personal question, or you can put it on Facebook. We answer those questions daily, sometimes immediately, being that I'm at my computer just about every second of the day.
Sonia, can I call you at 505-293-1867?
Yes.
Right behind you. Everybody, it's right behind you.
This is it, y'all.
My computer.
Well, with this Zoom thing, I was trying to get my logo on. I love your background. I can't seem to get that on mine.
Well, I might know a tech company that can help you out, Sonia.
I just want you to look at the background here. See this right there? I don't know if you can see that. That's the award from last year.
I love it. And I actually did notice, and I actually noticed your computer too. So there's guardians floating around up there. But please bring it to the front, Sonia. Please bring it to the front. So these are the beautiful plaques and awards that were handmade, literally burned handmade, cut tin, little inch by inch from Sean Wells at Sean Wells Art, who is a fifth generation Santera. She's an incredible artist here in the community. And she wanted to put her touch on it. And because she does painting, she created this magnet that if you want to remove it and place it, on a refrigerator or somewhere else that you want to do with it, because she wanted a little piece of her heart with you, the winners. But underneath, they still did the work so that the plaque would be beautiful. So big shout out to Sean. She was with us on Monday because she's doing this year's awards again. A little different, but the same. And so thank you so much for bringing that up, Wizard and Sonia, for showing us that that's important.
I had to bring this from home because this is my little plaque that I keep on my fridge. And they say, who made that? And I said, this is actually part of our award for the 2019 Tech Business of the Year. And they said, oh, how is that possible? I said, it's a magnet, it comes apart. So they thought that was pretty neat. Yeah.
Well, it was completely her idea. And when we were designing it, she says, I want them to have a piece of me now. I can do the woodwork, and my brother does all of the tin work in the traditional style, but I'm a painter. I'm a retablo painter, and I want a piece of my heart with them. And that's where the whole thing came from. So thank you again. We really appreciate your uniqueness to this award. So it's very personal, very personal.
Yes.
So getting back to the services that you provide.
Yes. Well, let's see. We do IT managed for business, which means we can care for their whole business computers, including server if they have one. We do sell in store and online. Well, our website has been done, but we're in store at this time for sales, and our repairs are usually done by remote online or in the store. Or before the pandemic, we were able to come out to your home and possibly work on it that way. And that's what we did for many of our senior citizens that were not able to move from their homes. So that helped them out a lot. We also do virus removal, data recoveries. I mean, we have done so many data recoveries right when the pandemic started. Everybody was getting hit with viruses and bad emails, and they were clicking on the emails. And that's the worst thing anyone can do, is click on an email that you do not recognize. If it's not a .gov or you don't see that, that URL that makes sense, don't click on it. It's a bad idea.
Well,
We
so
also,
you did data recovery for me personally, so.
yes, yes. And we were lucky to get that because we were having a hard time at the beginning. We were happy we got it done. Also, we do repair on, we used to work on motherboards. That's something that nobody knows. We still will on certain circumstances because they're very old, but we do have a specialist in our tech department that can do that. We have our professional laptop tech that works specifically on laptops. Well, he has a partner with him as well. So we never run into any issues when it has to do with any computers, thankfully. I also realize, I mean, that's pretty much what we do. We sell, we buy, we repair. I do realize that the awards will be virtual participation this year, so it will be different for us, but we are hoping for the best outcome and glad to be a part of it, Shannon.
Well, you know, thank you, Sonia. We have a great team here. That's one thing at the Chamber. We've been really lucky. We've refined ourselves quite a bit over the past 7-8 months. And, you know, Angelique Baca, who's behind the scenes right now, you guys don't know her. She is not a camera person, but every webinar, every social media post, every website update, every video you see, that is her brilliance at work. And she and Paco, who's been reaching out to last year's winners, this year's winners, and our sponsors and all that fun stuff, has done all the videos. We'll be putting together a really great show, and you guys will all be getting the links, and we're hoping that you will show it on your Facebook pages and that you will share it, because the videos are exciting. We kept it very fun because it's, you know, we're already in front of Zoom all day, so we're like, how do we keep people for an hour plus entertained? And so we have some fun entertainment. We took a lighthearted approach this year to it, and so we're excited to share it with you. So thank you, Sonia, for that. You know, Matthew, I wanted to talk a little bit about something you brought up right at the end when we were speaking a few minutes ago. And one of that is about your artisans. I'd love to hear about some of your artisans, maybe some of the places, locations, pueblos, tribes they represent, and how important was it when you came up with the concept, and whoever it was that developed the concept of the cooperative, collaborative, to be able to bring these artisans together?
Yeah, so we have artisans all over. We're not specific to one tribe or anything like that. There's a lot of Native American culture, and every tribe is different. And so we're open to anyone from any tribe. And it's very important that we let the artisans speak for themselves because of the differences between the tribal affiliations. And we want the honest transparency, as transparent as we can get. And the best way to do it is let the people speak for themselves. It really didn't start off that way. It's really evolved into realizing that there's such a big need in our communities for these artisans. And it was the something I touched on before was the imports and the economic problems that we were having from the imports that really drove us to say, hey, this isn't right. We had artisans that we knew, that I've worked with for a long time, that were going under and not being able to do what they love to do, and not presenting their art because they couldn't compete. And so the concept of really embracing the idea of supporting the Native American communities basically came from that. Yeah. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, no, it's really great to you know, I guess our state, you could say we're very triculture in everything that we do, and Native American being one of those main, for us, for New Mexico, one of the biggest cultures. We're the second largest state in the country when it comes to Native American population. And so it's really, really important that we all understand that, and we're cohesive as a unit, as a community about it. And, you know, we all grew up with the beauty of the jewelry, with the art, the pottery, the amazing work that they do. And so if you're not lucky enough to own an amazing original piece of jewelry, you know, in those beautiful stones and the sterling silvers and all of the neat designs that they do, very unique to each tribe, you need to get out and visit Turquoise Skies. So they will have a fantastic choice of different artisans that you can talk to. If you want to commission a piece, whatever, get involved and just look and see, you know, we want to support local, and these guys are local and they're authentic. And something you said, Matthew, that was really important is knowing the difference between what is not real and is being sold as authentic native New Mexican versus what is not. And so if you're not sure, that's how you do. You get together with Matthew and team and you say, I want authenticity. I want an original squash blossom, or I want this type of stone. And he can get you in touch with the artisans to do the work for you. You guys also do pieces like you do, you can commission for businesses. Maybe they want, like, I know one time we had talked about doing some pins. I mean, so there's some other things that you guys do that's not just the individual jewelry.
Right. We do have a mass production jewelry store, and we do have capabilities of producing stuff in mass. We actually had a contract with TJ Maxx that we let go because it was margins were tight and it's small business.
Yeah.
But we've done a special pin for the Balloon Fiesta, International Balloon Fiesta. We've done some other business work. But again, it's really what you want. If you want something cheap, then, you know, there's some great cheaper mass production businesses out there that will, you know, get you something. But if you want something to give to your grandma, or you want something that's special and you want something that's New Mexico, I mean, you don't want to give your grandma a ring and telling her it's like from New Mexico and it's Native American and it's our culture, just for her to find out later that it's silver plated, that it's plastic turquoise, and then it's made in China, because that's where our niche is. If you want something real, something quality, something made here in New Mexico by our local artists, then that's what we do. And it does cost a little bit more, but you know that you're getting authentic, and we want to be as transparent as possible about that. And we film a lot of things. And if you have any questions, it's easy for us to just be like, oh, do you want to know what that is? And we pick up the camera and show like whoever's working on it. And you can't, it's hard to find, especially online. You don't know what you're getting. You just see a piece of jewelry. That's why we like turn on our live cameras all the time, and you know exactly where it's made, and that's what we stand by, and that's our niche.
That's really exciting, because I know that I want that authenticity. So I hope that you watching, when you're thinking, what am I going to do for Christmas this year? You know, I want to get my wife or my friend or my mother a beautiful, unique piece. Then you'll need to visit Turquoise Skies for all of that. So start your shopping since now. And speaking of since now, I know that the Guardians are going to be planning for 2021 and what does post-COVID look like. So I'd like to talk to you guys a little bit about what do you see moving forward? How are you planning to move forward in 2021? What is the next step, and how can we, continue just from where we're at, continue to keep the children safe? What are some of the tips you have for us?
Well, we all play a part in keeping the children safe. Everybody has a set of eyes and ears to be able to help to keep an eye on those children and to watch them. It's not just our organization or law enforcement or any others. So we all have to play that part. We are looking forward to post-COVID to be able to help those children, those families that need our help. But unfortunately, we're worried about how busy it's going to be. And the reality is, if we're busy, that's because a family or a child is hurting. And we don't want that. But we are ready, and we are continuing to train and be ready and have our people ready to be able to handle that. So as we always have, we'll do what we need to do to make sure that child is safe, to make sure that child and that family goes through the court system, testifies, does the best job they possibly can, and that perpetrator, that bad guy, or that bad person suffers the consequences for their actions. And that's the first step in rebuilding that child's life, rebuilding that family's life, and getting them back to some sort of normalcy. So we are looking forward to post-COVID.
As the courts start to kind of, reopen, take on more caseloads, do you guys anticipate being busy? Because I know for a while you were real busy, and I can see with courts being closed, obviously you're not there in person, but what do you anticipate with that coming up?
Well, normally pre-COVID, we were what we called busy. We always had something going. It seemed like every week there was a court case that we were attending and we were having members go to. Post-COVID, we're looking at almost a year now where those things have been delayed, postponed, et cetera. So when this does lift and things do get back to some sort of normalcy, it's going to hit hard. It's going to hit all at once, not to mention all the new cases that are going to come forward at that time. So we'll be dealing with everything from this year as well as things that are just starting. So we will be very busy.
So, Wizard, I want to ask you for many years now, you guys have done the lighting of the tree for the holidays. And what does that look like for this year? Is it even possible, because it's such an important part of our community to see that tree and what it represents?
Well, I'm going to let Moose talk about it, but basically we're going to continue that. It's going to be different this year. It'll most likely be virtual. I know that Moose has been working with the city of Albuquerque to make those arrangements. And so, Moose, why don't you tell them where you're at?
So we have started working with the city. We are moving forward with those plans. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a big in-person gathering as it has been in years past. It's going to be more focused on social media outlets, live streaming of however we can. But we will have, or the plan is to have some speakers from the city, some speakers from us, and others to be determined there in the plaza. We will have the tree. At least that's the plan right now. It'll just be via social media instead of in person.
Well, you, as always, for the last few years, let us know how we can help. I'm not sure if you're still working with Elaine or what group you're working with at the city, but big shout out to Ken Sanchez's office, who has always been a participatory in this event and supported it big time. And I know that Elaine wanted to continue a tradition that was important to him. So let us know how we can help. We'd love to help you live stream. We'll share your links wherever we can. It's something that's important. And when you see those numbers and when you hear those stories and when you try to figure out what does each name mean on that tree, it's just very powerful. So I'm thankful that you guys are able to continue that. So as we start to wind down the hour, I want to talk to you guys about where you're located. How can we find you? Let's talk about websites, social media, all that fun stuff. So Sonia, you are up. How do we get to you if we are outside going, I need a computer, I need it fixed, and I need your service?
Okay, first step, get in your car and drive here. That is the best service you can get.
Ignition.
Secondly, you can get on our
website. Where is there? If I'm going to get in my car, when I get done with this, where am I going?
We are on Manal, a block west of Eubank, 9324 Manal Boulevard. Our number is 293-1867. We do receive quotes through fax as well, 505-293-1843, or online, www.pc-place.com. I wanted to just wish everybody, keep your head up. We are all here for you. We are here for you. We wish everyone good health, strength, and patience during these hard times. And I'd like to thank you, Shannon, for having me.
As always, Miss Sonia, we appreciate all that you do for us here at the Chamber. We're looking forward to you being part of our continuing being part of our ambassador committee.
One more thing, I'm sorry.
Support all the new businesses that are now that we're getting out there. You guys are going to be busy with ribbon cutting.
Yes.
Starting to get back out and work on new membership, and so we're excited. We have over 20 new members just this month, so we're pretty excited.
Can't wait. One more thing. I'm sorry, Shannon.
No,
I, of course, as ambassador of the committee for the Chamber, we do have an outreach project that we participate in every quarter of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And right now we are involved with the Rio Grande food drive. We did finish our hike for hunger this last weekend. Sunday was the last day, and it was a nice wonderful event. Although now they are still taking donations, you know, for at the Rio Grande Food Drive, and that we can do that through our ambassador group on our Facebook page and by clicking on the tab, or you can go straight through the Rio Grande Food Drive. Every penny matters, every penny helps. Thank you, Shannon.
Awesome. Thanks, Sonia. Matthew, same. Tell us where we can find you these days. What are your digits, as they would say, and help us get the traffic to you.
Yes, we have a new location that it's a soft opening. We haven't done any advertising yet, but you're welcome to come in. We're open 12 to 6, Tuesday through Saturday, and we're at 8106 Manal. It's right on the corner of Manal and Wyoming, right next to Hoffmantown.
Yes.
So please come in anytime. And if you remember, I don't know if anybody knows this, but you get 20% off if you're a member of the Chamber of Commerce. So yeah, come.
I'm right down the street from you.
Right down the street. Come on by.
I'm right down the street from you. I'm going to take advantage of that 20%.
Yeah, do it. If you're watching this online, then you can check out our Facebook page, the Turquoise Skies or T Skies or at T Skies Jewelry. We have live shows 4 times a week. It's kind of like native QVC, where the artists will get in and sell their own jewelry, and you can call in
awesome.
And order there, or you can visit our website at tskies.com. So hope to see you there.
tskies.com. There you guys go. That's T, the letter T, skies.com. And you can go on there and find out. Now, I'm going to say this to you, Matthew. I don't have all the details, but I want to put it in the back of your head because I want you to remember to nudge me on this. But we do this really great. About 6 months ago, we started realizing, after we kind of got our wits about ourselves, that there's so many different economies that had been hit hard by COVID. And one of them is our creative economy. That's our artisans, our musicians, the people that really depend on their personal art form to make money, you know, bands and musicians that play at breweries and events and weddings and all that fun stuff, and artisans that don't have the tourism to sell to, and dancers who don't have anybody to perform to. And so we started a little series called Monday Morning Music. And we partnered with the hotel industry, which was hugely hit during this time, to put artisans inside the hotel for an hour. We do like a 10-15-minute interview. We let them play for the last 45 minutes to share their beautiful talent, in hopes that somebody will call, book them for something, or, you know, do a virtual event with them, whatever it may be. But we do that every other Monday. So as we were sitting there talking, we have now come up with a new concept. We're going to be calling it Artisan ABQ. And the opposite Mondays, we're going to be featuring artisans and their work and what they do, and helping to get the word out. You know, we had an incredible Monday Morning Music this past Monday, well over 5,000 views on the video already. And so we've been really taking this time to build our video viewership, if you will, and build that platform. And so I will be reaching out to you, Matthew. And if you don't hear from me, please reach out to me, because we'd like to feature you and your artists on some of those projects. I think it'll be really important to show what you guys do. So I just wanted to
elaborate. Of course, it's a hard time right now with COVID. A lot of our artists are still scared. They're locked down. They're in the pueblos. I want to encourage artists, if you're in Albuquerque and you are able to come in and you're not on lockdown, please come by. We've got room. We've got open benches right now. So
wonderful. And we'll help you get that word out too, because I think it's super important. We want to really help in that creative economy area. And so we're going to speak with you off camera on this, and we'll start working on that now for Christmas.
Great.
Hopefully get people into there. So yes. So Moose, please tell us, how do we find you guys online, and where can we call or email for questions?
One of the easiest ways is our Facebook page, which is Guardians of the Children Rio Grande Chapter. Feel free to check out that page and send us a direct message through there. For anybody in New Mexico, as well as nationally and internationally in US and Canada, you can check out our website, our national website at www.guardiansofthechildren.com. You can hit chapters there, and it'll give you a list of anywhere we have a chapter. So that way people outside New Mexico can get help as well. And then you can email me directly at gocrpresident@gmail.com. And that again was gocrgpresident vice@gmail.com. And then the vice president email is the same thing, just with the word vice added in there. So they can contact us anytime.
So, really quick, Moose, how many members are there in the Rio Grande chapter?
We don't discuss how many members there are exactly,
Okay.
because we don't want the opposite team to know what they're up against. But I promise you, we have plenty. And in the event that we don't, we can call help from our brothers and sisters anywhere in the U.S. and Canada, and they will be here to help. So I promise you, we have enough.
And I asked that question because I know a while back I asked that same question of the gentleman to my right who said pretty much the same thing.
Yep.
I think it's a really great concept because it really tells people how important the mission is to you. And it's not about the numbers, it's about that you have enough and that you are supporting. And so I find that to be extremely powerful when you do it that way, because we do like to, we like to talk about numbers all the time. So it's what we do in economic development. What are the numbers? But we appreciate all of the hard work that you guys do. So I'm excited because this next year, 2021, is the year of this amazing panel, and the panel that we met with on Monday as well. We're going to get to shine this year. You guys are going to get to shine this year on all of the Hispano Chamber marketing. So we'll be reaching out for your fancy photos. And we want to make sure that everybody knows that without these 10 winners last year, supporting what we do in the community and acting as, like I said, pretty much ambassadors to the chamber, it's a really great partnership, and we're very, very proud to have you guys as members. And we're super proud to announce the next group that will represent as you guys did this year. So we want to say thank you to you. Thank you to Moose, Wizard, and the whole Guardian of the Children's team. All of you that are out there watching, thank you guys so much. I want to thank, Sonia is just, she's a staple here. I always say Sonia should just have an office here. She's amazing. She does so much for the chamber. I get to see her on the weekends because she participates in our one room at a time. We get to travel around the state and do fun stuff. So I'm just so thankful that Sonia is part of what we do here at the chamber, and such a big part of our voice. And we thank you for that, to both you guys, to both you and Stephen. And I want to say a big shout out to Turquoise Skies, Matthew and Janice. We really love the concept of what you guys are doing here at the chamber. We work in 2 markets. We work in the Hispanic market, we work in the Native American market. And though our membership is about 60% Hispanic, we are not just about being Hispanic business owned or organization led. It's about the community, but we do have focus on the Native American Hispanic community. And we actually get funded through our lodgers tax for that, through our convention and tourism department, to promote that, to promote the tourism part of it. And so I want to say, Matthew, we're excited to work with you. We have some ideas coming up, and we really thank you for having the co-op in the community. They really need you, and it's hugely appreciated.
Thank you. Can I add something to that as well, just to for us? We're not exclusively Native either. My grandma's Yaqui, but I don't claim a tribal affiliation. I'm a member. We do have members that are not Native. We just happen to grab the niche and really focus on helping the Native communities. And so, yeah, if you're an artist, no matter, who you are, what your background is, we're all about local artists, and we just happen to focus a little bit more on the Native communities. So, yeah,
Sure.
So I'm looking forward to talking to you more.
That sounds great. So, guys, we're going to wrap it up today. We start next Monday, November 2nd, with a whole new theme for the month, a whole new sponsor for the month. So we're excited to please join us. We're going to be having our big Calavera celebration on Monday at noon. So if you guys want to hear from the ladies that are going to talk to us about the importance of what that is for their culture, from art to food to how you dress to face painting to all the great stories, join us on Monday. And no matter what happens, don't forget to vote, guys. It's a very important year. Get your voice out there. Whichever way you go doesn't matter. It's just to get out and vote. Take that ballot, drop it off, mail it in, whatever you need to do. Just make sure that your voice is heard, because your voice does count. And so we just want to say thank you so much to this amazing panel, our nonprofit of the year, our Native American business of the year, and our technology business of the year 2019. Thank you guys so much. And we will see you guys next Monday. Everybody have a safe, warm week, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Shannon. Bye.